So today I kind of just really want to talk and just chat. Watching me just like talk is kind of boring. So you can watch a Sims build right now. I just really want to make a video so bad, but I don't have any ideas. And I had quite a bit of videos about The Sims that I never posted. This one included because I decided to change my mind really quickly before school started that hey, I don't want to do these anymore. But then at the same time, I'm I really like The Sims and I like speed builds. They're my favorite. I love just talking to the camera and chatting everything up. Yeah, I don't have any ideas for videos and it's really bad. I've only posted 5 or 6 of these in-person ones. I don't know how to even describe it, but me doing something, not Sims videos. And now I don't have any ideas. So yeah, I got one video idea from someone, which is a good idea. It's try being handcuffed for 24 hours or something. It's a good idea, but I don't have the time to do it. That's 24 hours I have to have dedicated to wearing handcuffs, and I don't have 24 hours to do that. So yeah, I guess I can explain this build. I should probably explain The Sims to anybody who doesn't know about The Sims. But it's this game where you could build, or you could so you can build houses. You can play with your Sims, which are humans. I don't know. Just look it up. I probably can't do the best at describing it, but I'm just building a base game home, so anyone who has the game can download it. You don't need any special packs, but yeah, I built this house when I was in a fit of rage because I was watching this one YouTuber, Little Simsy, and she's one of my favorite YouTubers, and she makes videos about The Sims 4. And she built a base game house, and she was talking about how they all look the same, and she never can get them to look any different. And then so I come in because I'm angry. I'm gonna try and make it different because her houses do look a lot alike when they're base game builds. And so that was my whole inspiration for this house. And for the longest time, I had the hardest time trying to figure out what I should have the color scheme of this house look like. I don't think it's right now, but I start going with dark blues and stuff, and no, I don't really like dark blues, and it's just so yeah. Anyway, this weekend I went to my grandparents' lake house, so that was exciting. It was quite chilly because it was really windy, and it was funny. We were gonna go fishing, so my dad bought some worms, and then we never went fishing because it was so windy. So then we brought them back home, and he's you could just dump them outside. My sister dumped them outside, but I took a picture of them first, and I posted it to Instagram, and I literally just captioned it worms. And there 2 people commented, what's with the worms? And I just found it so funny. I don't know. I just posted some pictures of worms. I like holding worms. Also, this weekend, I played Clue, and so it was getting to the end. And my sister just found out what everything was. So she's I would like to make my accusation. So then me and my dad are aw, shucks, because we got really close too. Because I'm pretty sure he almost knew it and I found it out too. And then she says, Professor Plum with the rope in the billiard room. And I look at my sheet and I'm Caitlin, do you know that you have Professor Plum as one of her cards? She was meant to say Colonel Mustard, but she said Professor Plum, and then she lost, and then I got to go, and then I won the game. So that was pretty awesome. We played a lot of cards, and I don't think I won most of them. We played apples to apples, and it was kind of funny since we were only playing with 3 people, and so then if you're the person reading the card for apples to apples, say it was the word was disgusting, and then only 2 people throw their cards in, then it's not as fun. But we just had a random pile that we'd throw in a card that just made it kind of funny. And you don't know how many times the pile would win the card. That, like, I would look at them because I want to know whose was whose. And I'm like, okay, this one wins. And I look to my dad and he's like, no. And I look to my sister and she's like, no. I'm like, the pile gets it again. And that happens so many times. Yeah. But it was kind of funny. I woke up really early both days I was there. I woke up on Saturday morning at like 4:30 and I stayed up. I read my book for like 2.5 hours and I got like 100 pages in, so that was pretty fun. This morning on Sunday, I woke up at like 5:15 and I wrote in this journal that's up there. It's like the Lake House Journal, and there's like everybody writes in it. Well, most people do. Yeah, I finished that book. It was called 10 Things to Do Before I Die, I think. Yeah, I don't remember who wrote it, but it was pretty good. But the ending is very confusing. If anybody else has read the book, can you like explain to me what has happened? Because I had like 4 pages left and I'm just like reading them over and I'm like, this makes no sense. So that was kind of a little frustrating. Oh, there's something fun we do up at my grandma's lake house. So back in September last year, there was like, we were looking at newspapers, probably like to put them in the fire. And I see a picture of Daniel Tiger. Like, you know, the PBS kid show, Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. And I start drawing on him. Like, I put mustache and like a top hat and like color his clothes a different color. And then I think he's funny. And I say he's evil Daniel Tiger because of Community. They're evil, like evil Abed and evil Troy when they have like a mustache and a goatee. And I had Daniel Tiger have a goatee and a mustache. So I'm like, oh, he's evil Daniel Tiger. And then I laminate him. Well, laminate. Since I actually just used tape and I put it on both sides and then cut around like it. So that's evil Daniel Tiger. And one day I just like, there's these like oars in the dining room, I think. Yeah, they're like paddles for something, but they're like painted like a cool color. And I just like put him there, and then my aunt, she comes up like a couple weeks later or something, and she finds him. No, her boyfriend finds him just like sitting there, and she was sitting in the same room as him the whole entire time. And it was just really funny. And then next time we went up, my aunt's like, you gotta find Daniel Tiger now. And I'm like, what? So now every time we go up, we hide Daniel Tiger for my aunt to find, and then she hides Daniel Tiger for us to find. This time, Daniel Tiger was hidden in like a hard spot to find since we looked everywhere. And like, it's not that big of a place. There's 3 bedrooms and like a living, dining room, kitchen place that's kind of open. I don't know how to describe it very well. But we're looking all around and trying to see where he is. And we're like, okay, he can't be in any of the bedrooms. There's like not any good hiding places for them anyway. So we're looking in the main area. Then my sister, she lays down on the couch and just like, and there's a lamp by the end of the couch. And Daniel Tiger's taped in the inside of the lamp, like the lamp shade. Is that what it's called? He's like taped up in there, so you couldn't even see him from like the outside. I'm like, oh my. So yeah, it took forever to find him, but it was pretty cool once we did. We decided to hide him actually on the lamp, which is funny since behind the lamp is like the thermostat. Like there's a door and like this like little hallway, which we never go out that door. And there's just like the thermostat in the back of the couch. And the lamp, the back side of the lamp, we stick him there because we're like, nobody ever goes over there because like there's 4 doors to get out of the place and it's like not that big. But we normally use like the 2 like main doors. Anyway, so we figure my aunt probably wouldn't be able to find him there since like, why would you be over there? I like never am. I was literally just sitting there because the rocking chair was there, since we normally don't use the rocking chair since it's very loud. And I'm like, yeah, I like this chair, but it's way too loud. And then like, what if we hide Daniel Tiger there? And we didn't even find Daniel Tiger at that point. And to think he was just like up on the lamp that I was looking at the whole entire time. What else do we do up there? We did a few chores, like we always do. We had to vacuum around the windows for some reason. I don't know what the point of that was, but to get like cobwebs, but like there was none. So I was gonna do it, and I turn on the vacuum, and it's like making a normal noise, and then all of a sudden it makes this weird noise. I'm like, what the heck is that? And it keeps doing that. I'm like, it's never done this before. And there's like, I open it to see if like, oh, is something clogged up? And it is. There's like so much dust and vacuum stuff like squashed into like the little tube. And I'm like, ew. So then me and my sister are trying to get it all out, and there's so much. And then it stopped making the noise, but then it wasn't working because we were like trying to use like this, like the attachment to like get on the windows, because you're not gonna go like lift up the vacuum and do that. But then it wasn't working, and we're like, oh my. But my dad fixed it somehow. I don't even know what he did. He kind of like took things apart and then put them back together. Yeah. And then we also had to put away chairs, which was kind of boring. We just had to move them over. And then my dad comes and he's like, okay, can you take out the lawnmower and the wheelbarrow from the shed so then I can put the chairs in there? I'm like, okie dokie. And he like, I think he goes somewhere. I don't remember where. And so I get the lawnmower out fine. And then I try to get the wheelbarrow out. But the shed door, there's like two doors, and it goes like that, how sheds normally open. But the one door is like stuck, and it kind of went like pushed inward where it's not supposed to be. Like it was past like the normal opening thing. I don't know how to describe that. But like, say you had a door and you like pushed it the wrong direction and it kind of got stuck. I don't know. And I couldn't get it to open. And I'm like, well, I can't get the wheelbarrow through. And there's this weird liquid that's inside of the wheelbarrow. I'm like, what is this? And I didn't want to spill it because I'm like, well, I could just turn it, but there's the weird liquid. So I just have it there. And then my dad comes back and he gets it through. And I'm like, how do you do that? And I guess he like pulled the door down and then pulled it out. I thought you were going to have to like take the shed and like push it up so then you can get the door through. Yeah, that was like a challenge. We went through the food since like every spring, and now it seems like every fall too. We go through the cupboards because people bring up a lot of food, since my grandparents give the lake house like out to a lot of people to stay throughout the year. So there's like many people that come up and many people that bring stuff and they leave it. And we went through so much stuff, and I was the person in charge of dumping it down the drain, like liquidy stuff. And ew, it looks so gross. There was like old mayonnaise, and like that didn't go down the drain very well. And the sour cream, it was like in a squirt bottle, and I opened it and I'm like, ew, this is liquidy, like really liquidy, like water liquidy. And then it's all like really hard because there's like the hard part of sour cream, and it's so disgusting. And there was like sauce, and there was an old can of beans or something, or soup, I don't know. And my sister, she's like, she gets the can opener and opens it, and then she's gonna go dump it outside. And then she comes back and she's like, it's like rock solid. And it was so disgusting. So yeah, that's what we do a lot. And there was some other things that we threw away that's been in there for like so long, and people don't use the stuff because like normally you wouldn't come up there and expect there to be food. You're like, oh, I need to bring a bunch of food. And like, how about I leave all this? But you're like, no, you gotta take your stuff. Anyway, I guess that's my little rant. That's pretty much all you have to know. If you do want to download this house, you can, like, from the gallery. My name is Gracie9741. So, yeah. And I'll see you all next week with a video of some sort. Hopefully I find an idea by then. But, of course, you can always send ideas my way. I hope my comments are turned on because sometimes they're not, and that angers me so much. But yeah, I'll see y'all next week. Goodbye! And then they were